Hello, this is Magdala with a Time for God. In this month of April, we are talking about the benefits of seeking God. In January, February, March, we talked about seeking God and ways we can seek God. And now we're going to be talking about the benefits thereof. What are the benefits of seeking God? We've put up a few videos talking about the benefits. In yesterday's video, we talked about how I have benefited personally from seeking God. When I couldn't read and there was no way out for me, I went crying to God as a little girl growing up. And because I did not go anywhere else or just let it be, I sought his face, he turned the story around. He changed it for me. And then in today's video, we talk a little more about the benefits. How Hannah had sought God's face. She was seeking God in her problems. She had her rival wife, and the rival wife was always taunting her. And when she could take it no more, she sought God's face. And God turned it around. God gave her exactly what she asked for. She asked for a male child, and she promised to borrow that child back to God. And now today, I want us to talk a little more about the benefits of seeking God. So I know someone will say, look at your life. What are the benefits to you? You're still living paycheck to paycheck, still trying to dig up from under the ground and all that goes into it. And yes, those things are true. But the quality of my life is so much different from what it used to be prior to me getting to know and understand the value of seeking God. For instance, I used to be a hot-tempered person. You could call me a no-nonsense person. I was always ready. And fortunately, I am a strong person. So strong, fearless, and always ready. Those are horrible combinations. But that was me because I felt that there was nothing else to do. There was no one, anyone, anywhere that I could depend on. So I depended on my strength. It doesn't mean that I didn't pray. I prayed. But for the most part, I did things my way, not God's way. In fact, I thought about God after the fact. And what that did to me, it caused me a lot of pain and anguish in my life. I was always angry, always bitter. Someone was always doing something. I was always confused, not knowing the way out, and things just didn't work out well. But ever since I started to understand and realize that the best thing to do is to seek God first, and I started doing that. I stopped letting it be about me. I started letting it be about God. I started understanding that in order to seek God first, I needed to get to know who God was. And I thought I knew God. But then I knew God, but he was mysterious to me. I knew God, but you couldn't understand him. I knew God, but I understood that I needed to understand that there was no guarantee that God will come through for me. But as I started to dive deeper, I started to understand that there are guarantees. Oh, God does come through for you. And yes, you can rely on him. And he is sure. He is more certain than gold. Things are not where I would want them to be. There are still a lot of things that I am waiting for God to turn around. But there are a few things that I have come to understand in this bitter part of my life that I'm going through. I have come to understand that God allows us to go through training. He trains us. Isaiah 48, 17, and 18, he say he is our God, the one teaching you to benefit yourself. It doesn't benefit him. It praises his name, but you doing right benefits you. He causes you to go in the way you should. And in 18 he said, oh, if only you'll actually pay attention to my commandments. He promises them that your peace will be like a river, and your righteousness like the waves of the sea. For many people, it's a future promise. But the truth is, it's a here and now promise. You can have peace here today. You can have peace flowing like a river if you do things God's way. And God has shown us how, what to do and how to do it. And I have decided to make it my business to do things God's way, not my way. And ever since I started on that journey, there have been people who would look at me and think I'm crazy. In fact, some people have accused me of sitting God on my head and being a fool. And after some time, those same people will come back begging and apologizing and asking me to please pray for them. Why? They can see my life. I am not just saying do something. I am doing the something that I believe the Bible wants us to do. Now I choose to seek God first in everything I do. And I tie my head every day to remind me that it's God, then me. Not me and God, but God and me. That keeps me grounded. That helps me focus. It gives me the opportunity to pray more. And it helps me not to see everything that's going on around me, but to focus, keep my gaze up. That has been a very great benefit to me. I don't spend all my day crying. I'm not always downhearted. I trust in Jehovah now with all my heart. And I do not lean on how I think and feel. Sometimes I find myself swaying away. Then I remind myself. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says, trust in Jehovah with all your heart. And do not lean on your own understanding, but in all your ways, not in some, in all, the good, the small, the big, acknowledge him. And then he promises to make your way straight. So I hold on to that. And I see that when temptations come, troubles, trials, tribulations, and I focus on God first, he makes a difference for me. That is my personal testimony to the fact seeking God is beneficial to self. And God promises that he loves those who love him. And it must occur in Joel 2, verse 32, that anyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. This is Magdala with a time for God. It's been wonderful sharing with you. To have you a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.